and Wade, throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrolls, and scorecards never fold. 8 off 21 sports talking bold like Fizz catching gold. Eric saying underdogs got swagger. Wade counter champs got a granite jaw, won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot cops, bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. 8 off 21, clash of minds. No surprise, Erik and Wade in the ring, shouting nod, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
We have reached part of the podcast and we talking some UFC 326, and who better to come on than the man, the myth, the legend, Wade. Movement winners. Wade, how are you doing today, my man?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be back on here with you, man.
You numbered event. You and I are brainstorming. We may be changing our little format for the numbered events. Be on the lookout for that. But we're not going to do that today. We are just going to jump in and we're going to each give out 3 bets. Then we will build you a DFS lineup. But let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it, my friend. What is your first bet?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look here at Jesus Aguilar money line. Plus 215 was the odds that I found over on Novig, taking on Sumaderji. Aguilar looks to have, I think, the key pieces here that could slow down Sumaderji's 2-fight win streak. If he can get the grappling going, I think he can make it look like he should be more of a minus 150 favorite by the end of this fight. Aguilar enters at 12-3, and he does average 1.64 takedowns per 15 minutes, along with 1.4 submission attempts per 15 minutes. Sumaderji sits at 18-7, and he's really primarily a striker who does land 4.48 significant strikes per minute at a 52% accuracy. So he's a very good striker, and he does like to stay busy. So as long as Aguilar can mind his P's and Q's, stay at range, figure out how to get inside without taking in too much damage so he can get inside the clinch. I think that's where he's really gonna find the advantage here. Like I just said, Sumaderji does hold the advantage of striking. Aguilar does hold the advantage here if he can force the grappling exchanges and get this to the mat. Aguilar's wrestling combined with his submission attempts do create the potential to control the rounds if he can consistently bring the fight to the ground. In 12 MMA fights, Aguilar has won 8 by finish, and 2 of his 4 UFC wins have come by finish. When one fighter like Sumaderji lacks skills on the ground, if he can't keep this at range using his strikes, I just think Aguilar will make this ugly, and I think that's where he can win this fight.
I like this one too. I was looking at this one a lot. My first bet, and just doing it blindly at this point. Give me Cody Brundage plus 650, dude. I think he has a clear path to victory if he leans into what he does best right from the start. Physically forward pressure can immediately put Johnson on the defense. Brundage more effective when he forces opponent to fight off their back foot, closes the distance, level changes. He can take away Johnson's preferred striking range. Biggest edge here, in my opinion, is the wrestling. Brundage doesn't need to dominate control time. He just needs to get Johnson to the mat enough to slow him down, take away that explosiveness. Once Brundage is on top, throws with real authority, ground and pound, forces, reactions, which can operate positional advancers or even create a finish if Johnson can't find space. There's also the mental side of the fight. When you're facing a finisher like Johnson, the key is disrupting rhythm. If Brundage can initiate clinches, forces scrambles, make this a messy fight, it becomes much harder for Johnson to find timing. Another thing I've noticed this week, I always look at these fighters' social medias. Brundage has been really quiet on social media. It kind of leads me to suggest he's maybe locked in a little bit more, knows he needs to win this. Coming in off 5 weeks after getting knocked out. Not exactly a technical striker. Johnson, I'm speaking about. Brundage sticks to the game plan, closes the distance, gets his fight to the mat. Absolutely a clear path here. At plus 650, I just think this price is simply too big for a fighter that can dictate the tempo and pressure wrestling and physical strength over 3 rounds, my friend.
Hey, I don't hate this one at all, to be honest with you. I looked at this myself. I thought about, honestly, at this odds, I think it's worth sprinkling. If you have a little bit of money in your accounts to drop even $5-10 on this thing, I think it's worth that at this odds. It's
I'm trying to get
a lot more experience, man.
Like, dude, like I didn't know the halo was coming in. Like we're
Oh,
starting.
wow. There it is. I didn't see it either. Holy,
Jeez,
heaven's calling. Eric, heaven's calling.
the
Are you
halo.
okay?
Changing my angle here. Sorry for everybody. Let's go ahead. Next bet, my friend. Where are you going, dude?
Same game parlay. Odds kind of suck, but it's the best I could find earlier in the week. DraftKings was actually not allowing, for some reason, they were not allowing a same game parlay option for this fight. It was allowing that for other fights, so I had to use FanDuel for this, which usually does have a little bit worse odds than DraftKings. But I did Zhang Lee moneyline, and I parlayed that for the fight to start the second round. Again, that was over on FanDuel minus 129. They may have that option up on DraftKings now, but for some reason they may not even allow that to happen there. So Jiang Lee enters with a 11-3 record, and he does have a clear physical advantage in this matchup. He stands 5'10 with a 73-inch reach, compared to Gaston Bolanos at 5'7 with a 69-inch reach. I think that reach advantage is what I believe Lee is going to exploit in this matchup. I think he can use that to find the positions he needs to win this fight. The striking numbers between the two are nearly identical. Lee lands 3.38 significant strikes per minute, while Bolanos lands 3.28, with both fighters sitting right around 49% striking accuracy and 50% striking defense. I think the difference really here comes in the grappling metrics. If Lee can get this to the ground, he has a very clear edge. Lee holds a 66% takedown accuracy rate and a 72% takedown defense, while Bolanos defends just 42% attempts, and that's a pretty wide gap at the UFC level. I think that's going to be where he's going to create some opportunities to mix in grappling control to win rounds, especially when striking is about even. Lee does need to mind his P's and Q's for the first round, as I think that's where Bolanos is most effective and most explosive to possibly find some type of finish. But Lee does have a chance to win this thing inside the distance as well. So I do believe getting a good back and forth first round and then setting the stage for possibly a round 2 finish or a round 3 finish for Lee. I love this. I love this as one of my main cards for my VIP as well. So there's a lot of confidence with this pick here.
I like it. I like it. My next pick, I am going to Michael Johnson here, minus 115. Now, anyone who has bet Michael Johnson knows the rule. You can never be overconfident. Famous for both winning fights, he's supposed to lose, losing fights, supposed to win. But stylistically, I just feel this matchup is really in his favor. First off, Johnson, simply more battle-tested fighter. He's been in knockdown with elite competition over the years. Spearing shows up in big moments. Even at this stage, his career still looks sharp and quietly has put together a solid run. Big advantage here for me is stand-up. Still has the fastest hands in lightweight division. Speed, boxing technique, major problem for someone like Dauber. Tends to walk straight forward, rely on power shots. Dober incredibly tough and durable, but the forward pressure can turn him into a target. If he's consistently moving forward, Johnson is going to have opportunities to pick him apart with straight punches and quick combinations. There also is a southpaw versus southpaw matchup, what makes the jab even more important. And Johnson has a cleaner, more technical boxing game. If he stays mobile, uses his footwork, and keeps the fight in open space, he should be able to control range and frustrate Dober. Dober's path to victory is making this a brawl, landing a big shot, but Johnson has speed advantage, the technical striking advantage, the experience advantage. If he stays disciplined and doesn't get dragged into a firefight, I think he can beat Dober to the punch consistently, win this fight on his feet at minus 115. I just think the speed, the movement, the veteran experience, I'll take Johnson all day and every day, my friend. Next bet, my friend, where are you going?
Yeah, we're just going to go to the main event here, and I'm going to give out to Max Holloway, and I think we've got some pretty good value here with inside the distance at plus 115. Max Holloway enters this fight with a record of 27-8, and he's really not looked to slow down just yet. Still ranking as one of the highest volume strikers in MMA history. I believe, I'm not sure the number, but I know he could break the all-time UFC record for significant strikes and fight time. Depending on how long this fight goes. Holloway does land 7.2 significant strikes per minute, which is pretty crazy when you see that number. I still can't believe he's landing even at that number at his age, but he's doing it with a 48% striking accuracy and a solid almost 60% striking defense. His average fight time over 31 UFC fights is at 16 minutes and 23 seconds, which displays his durability and ability to extend striking exchanges where he can use his endurance to outpace his opponents. Looking at Charles Oliveira at 36 and 11. If his chin holds up, he remains one of the most dangerous submission artists still on the UFC roster. Oliveira averages 2.2 takedowns per 15 minutes and an elite 2.6 submission attempts per 15 minutes. His fighting style is clearly different than Max's. Over his 36 UFC fights, his average fight time is at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Looking to finish, or he gets finished. Over 36 MMA wins, Charles has won 32 of those by finish, while losing by finish in 9 of his 11 UFC losses. So when he usually loses in the UFC, it's by finish. I think the key metric in this matchup here is going to be Holloway's takedown defense. Holloway defends 83% of takedowns, which can force grappling heavy opponents into prolonged striking exchanges. I think if Holloway keeps this fight standing, I think his 7.2 strikes landed per minute compared to Oliveira's 3.35 could allow him just to control where this fight goes. This is really a tricky fight to make a prediction. Looking back at the recent losses, especially Max's, his last 6 losses, they really all come against the elite of the elite, or the best of the best. Ilia Topuria, Alex Volkanovski 3 times, Dustin Poirier in 2019, and then Conor McGregor back in 2013. And you can kind of say the same for Charles here. His last 3 losses were against Ilia Topuria, Arman Tsarukyan, and Islam Makhachev. But before that, he did have some questionable losses to people like Paul Felder in 2017 and Ricardo Lamas in 2016. I just think if Max can keep this thing at distance, keep it standing, I think he will be able to just out damage and wear out Oliveira over the course of the fight. Now, I will say if Oliveira finds a way to get this thing on the ground, find a way to get on his back, I think his submission's live. So playing this as a main play, I suggest. But I actually don't hate putting a little sprinkle on Oliveira by submission, just to have that in your back pocket, because I think that is actually live to hit.
I like it. My last one, I'm doing Rodriguez and Ferreira over 1.5 rounds. These two have a history. First fight ended quickly. Ferreira catching Rodriguez early, but I think this rematch plays out differently since that loss. Rodriguez has involved as a fighter, 5-1 in the UFC, picking up wins over solid competition, has shown major improvements in striking discipline, grappling game. More importantly, he's learned to manage fights better. Instead of getting dragged into wild exchanges early, he's been more calculated with his approach. That's the big reason I think this fight will last. Rodriguez now has a clear path here, and that's through wrestling control. If he mixes in takedown, uses his grappling, he can slow the fight down, neutralize Ferreira's power, spend long stretches controlling the action on the mat. On the other side, Ferreira is still extremely dangerous early with his power, but has also somewhat evolved his game. He's proven he can go longer fights, maintain his pace, and he's leaned more into his grappling and judo background instead of just chasing a quick knockout. When you combine those factors with the rematch dynamic, I think both fighters approach this a little smarter earlier. Rodriguez has revenge in his mind, should priority control rather than chaos. And if this turns into a grappling heavy fight with clinches and wrestling exchanges, the clock is going to move more. Because of that, I see this fight playing out a slower pace early with lots of grappling and positioning battles. I'll take the over 1.5 rounds, my friend. Let's go ahead and let's build ourselves a lovely DFS lineup. Let me pull in the screen. Dude, I'm always so bad at like pulling up the screen on the good old StreamYard device, my friend. Let's do it to it. Let's go ahead. Boom. Let's enter this bad boy here. Get the salary in order. Boom, boom. All right, where you at, my friend?
What? Oh, I was gonna say that's crazy. What happened to the Lee fight?
Oh my God, Lee out?
Mother of
pearl, dude. Well,
literally getting ready to say mother of pearl. We are from around the same parts. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, I still see it listed on the. I hate typing this guy's first name out. Young Lee. Can't just go to. When did they do weigh-ins for this one? I didn't check.
there you go.
Usually I do, but I did not check this time around.
Yep. So right here, Young Lee, and the fight is off. Lee is out because of weight issues.
Sweet. Yeah, I kind of liked him inside the distance too, man. Dang. All right. Okay, well. That is currently the only play I've posted so far, so I'm going to have to.
All right, so let's do it to it. Obviously, the lead bet you gave out is DOA because we, at the time of recording, did not know the fight was going on. I apologize for that for
I'm
everybody.
going to give the. I'm going to give my other article play out.
All right, why don't we retract? Why don't you go ahead? I'll pull the screen out. Why don't you give away your other article play there, my friend?
Let me see. That one is going to be Kyle Barrio by decision. Plus 110 was the best odds that I found when I was digging there. Barrio enters 17-2, 9 wins by finish. Looking to bounce back off his first UFC loss, putting him at 7-1 with the organization. Kyle has built one of the more efficient statistical profiles in that weight class. He lands 3.44 significant strikes per minute at an impressive 56% accuracy while absorbing just 2.5 strikes per minute with a striking defense at 60%. So when he's locked in, he's pretty dangerous on the feet as they come. Rainer de Ritter is 21-3. Looking to fix that last image he imprinted on every UFC's mind as this guy is a quitter. And if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, Rainer on his last fight against Brendan Allen literally tossed in the towel on the stool between rounds, saying that he could not continue because he was too tired. I guess, honestly, from his standpoint, he avoided worse damage, which in the long run could probably be best for his career. So hindsight, I think a couple years down the road, it might be a good decision for him, and we all may agree with that if he can continue to win fights here. Rainer does average 2.68 takedowns per 15 minutes. Attempts 0.7 submissions per 15 minutes. His striking output is lower at 2.2 strikes per minute, but his game has continued to evolve within the UFC promotion. His striking on the feet still needs a lot of work. But his main weapon is forcing his opponents into grappling exchanges where he can use his huge knees up the middle to cause damage to the body. Kyo's 76% takedown defense, I think, will be one of the most important numbers in this fight. If Kyo can just defend Rainer's entries, keep the fight standing, I just don't see how he doesn't find a KO in this match or just outpoint and out damage the Ritter clinch. Kyo is a cleaner striker. He's cleaner defensive efficiency is cleaner. And I think that should just allow him to control where the fight takes place. As I said about the other fight, really both main and co-main are incredibly tough fights to predict this week. I do think all four fighters could pull out a win. I love Rainer de Ritter myself. I've been very high on him. I'm not taking too much into that last fight. I don't think he was properly ready and trained and everything. I do think there was something to that. But also, like Eric mentioned, he had fought a lot last year. So this is going to be a really good fight. I think it's going to be fireworks. We could see a finish. We could see a decision. I think we're going to see a decision. And with that, I think I really like the plus money here on Kyle here.
I like it. Let's go ahead. Let's bring back up the old UFC lineup. Thank you, Wade, for adding that play. In terms of UFC lineups,
We're gonna go. Who's the cheapest first? Let's see who we can get.
Oh,
Find
dude, you know the
value here.
cheapest is my dog. My
Tried
dog.
this. We tried this last time.
We're not putting Brundage in. Look, dude, we did it once. We're not putting him in. Okay.
I mean, if you like Aguilar and I like Aguilar, I mean that's some value there.
I like Aguilar.
Didn't sound like you liked Rob Font.
I'm not a big Fonty.
God, that's tough, man. I just don't want to trust people like Cody Durden.
That's fine. Like on the high end,
Trying to find some value, man.
I like Max. You like Max. Let's put Max in there.
Yeah, he's gonna rack up some points. I like Rodriguez. I do.
Okay, let's go with Rodriguez then. So we still have an 85 average. How do you feel about Michael Johnson?
Yeah, I'm torn on that fight, so I don't hate it. I'm fine with it. I see the argument.
So, I mean, we got plenty of options here. Is there anyone you're hell bent on?
I know you're not a Font guy. I'm not either, but I was debating playing him. But I'm talking like a dog money line. His decision's plus 330. Like I think there's some value there. I think he can get this to a decision. The problem is fighters in his position that have that. I don't know if you've heard this, but fighters with a 16+ year age gap are 0-11.
Yeah,
in the UFC. So it's like
you want to go with
if that's the case, then we just play Rosas because the 8,700 is still cheap, but.
And that leaves us down to 86. So, I mean, we still got some dudes we can play with.
I think Montez is going to win, but I do not like betting on new UFC newcomers, so I'd hate to put him in there. I don't hate your Cody Brundage this week, man. I like it better this week than I did last time. I don't remember who he's fighting last time. Oh, Cam Rouston. Yeah, I was going to make a bet on Rouston, so I didn't like that one. I like this one. The problem is the more expensive guys in this card don't really make sense for us to need to use him. That's the last time we had to use him because we were using such expensive people. Who's expensive on this card? The guy that Brundage is facing? Is that it?
Yeah, he's the most expensive one.
God, I think Brundage is a sneaky look this week, man. All right, well. I don't know how you feel about obviously me giving out Barrio as a decision bet. I think we both like the Ritter.
You want to go with RDR?
I think he can score some points, man. I think he's going to really show people he's not a quitter.
RDR, and we still have 1,600 on the fucking table.
Jesus Christ. This card there's not a lot of favorites that we.
I mean, that's fine having 1,600 on the table, dude. It leaves options open for people.
I don't mind using Barrio, but I think 9,200 is a little. That's too much. That's giving way too much. Tobias should win. Fernandez, I kind of like.
So, I mean, we can take out. Let's say we take out Aguilar. We still have 8,700 left, dude.
We're still back in the same boat where it's either we play somebody we both like or we risk like Montez or Tumen Dimbaral. It's like Cody Durden's lost, I don't know, 5 or 6 fights, but he still trains with good people and he's crafty. I don't know. What are you thinking? It's tricky because the most expensive guys just are very terrible this week. Golly.
So if we take out there, if we put in Fernandez. Oh, we can't do it. We can't do it. Oh, we can do it with Brundage. We can't do that, dude.
I like the other one you had where there's Aguilar and DeRitter. If DeRitter gets control time and figures out how to
let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Aguilar, Rojas, Johnson, Rodriguez.
I think this is going to pay out.
Let's do it to it. Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Coming on, talking a little UFC 326. Why don't you, geez, there's a dog fight going on in my backyard. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, my friend?
Yeah, just come over or follow me over on X is where you'll find most of my work. I've released some free play articles, plays daily, and then yeah, you can follow the link in the bio. Come join us in the Discord. Get some free plays in there as well. Exclusive Discord free plays. Get my VIP plays in there. So we've been starting to turn a little hot corner in college basketball. See if we can keep it going. Go UIC, baby.
And Wade will be on my live stream Tuesday night live, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll be breaking down Wednesday's college basketball.
Hey, do you want to try to live stream this bad boy this weekend if we got time or what?
I'll be around. I am doing my taxes this weekend. That is a whole weekend event with me. So, I will have some free time. Wade and I, if he can get away from the fam, will be live streaming the CBS portion of the card.
Yeah.
CBS portion of the card. So be on the lookout for that. Give that man a follow at provenwagers.com. We will be back next week and we will talk soon, my friend.
All right. See you guys.